Alright guys, so today we're going to go through some exercises, or one in particular called the wall slide to activate serratus anterior. So serratus is a really important stabilising and movement muscle for the scapula and for general shoulder health. So from a functional anatomy perspective, the serratus anterior originates from this inferior angle of the scapula right here and actually rolls and works its way around across the ribs. So serratus simply means serrated edge. So if you can imagine the serrated edge of a knife, that's what serratus looks like as it's coming round the anterolateral aspect of the ribs. So it kind of looks like shark's teeth around there. You see this well developed on boxers and also on surfers because they're doing a lot of protraction. So boxing is a protraction movement, and surfing, when you're pushing up on the board, involves a lot of scapular protraction. However, serratus does much more than protraction. So if we're doing just scap push-ups and whatnot, then that's great for developing the protraction function of serratus. But we have to remember that it's also contributing to upward rotation of the scap, particularly during abduction and flexion of the shoulder. So this exercise that we're about to describe is going to help to emphasize that upward rotation. So what we're looking for when Amy does this exercise is that the inferior angle of the scap actually rotates up as she goes through shoulder flexion. So let's get her to have a go at this exercise here. So what she's going to do is just slide her forearms up the wall, and she's going to lead with her armpit, and she's going to come back down and do a few reps of that for us. So when I say lead with the armpit, she's got to push that armpit towards the wall as she goes through that shoulder flexion movement. So if you can imagine, she's got to protract on the way up in order to activate scap. And I can actually feel that inferior angle rotating up as she undergoes that flexion movement. Okay, what you'll find with some people is they'll be jammed up in the upper trap and they'll be too upper trapezius dominant. Now, whilst upper trap does contribute to upward rotation, it shouldn't be the prime mover of this. It should merely be a synergist. We really want serratus to kick in and drag that inferior angle around. So this is a basic activation drill with the wall slides. From a technical perspective, you'll see that we've got Ames in a split stance position. So that's just enabling her to widen her base of support and help with her stability. The other coaching cue we give people doing this exercise is to not allow separation from the ribs and the pelvis. So we don't want any of this rib flare when they undergo that flexion movement. So we want to avoid this. So we try and avoid that separation and lock on through the abdominal wall whilst we're doing it. And Ames is very good at that. So let's look at a progression from these basic wall slides. And I'm going to give Ames a medicine ball. And she's going to position her wrists on the medicine ball in a neutral grip. And she's going to go to her split stance. Note she's changed feet this time. She's going to lock on through her core to not allow that separation. And she's going to do the same movement, just rolling the med ball up the wall. So once again, yeah, there we go. We give her the cue to lead with the armpit. And you can even help by kind of pushing that inferior angle of the scap up and out as she undergoes shoulder flexion. There we go, nice. So we'll get it to do one more. And we'll have a look at both scap at the same time. Good. So that's two variations of wall slides to activate serratus anterior, particularly not just for protraction, but for upward rotation.